What is up, YouTube? This is Will Black Ops Pro. Sorry I haven't been able to upload recently, too much recently, because I've been pretty busy with real life stuff, so I haven't been able to upload, but I should be able to upload a little bit more from here on out. And in the background, you'll see some Gorod Krovi gameplay, which is actually a pretty good map. I found some pretty good camping spots. Hopefully, you'll be able to see some of those camping spots in this gameplay. But that's not the topic of today's commentary. The topic of today's commentary is Infinite Warfare Zombies, Zombies in Spaceland, which the trailer just came out earlier today, and I watched the trailer. I just want to share my thoughts on the trailer. Now, before I get into my review, I just want to say that I think it's a decent map, okay? Like, a lot of you guys are expecting me just to tear every single new COD thing apart, because, oftentimes I do tear it apart, Sometimes I point out what I think's wrong with a game, or what's wrong with a map, or what's wrong with anything, and I just share my opinions. And some of you guys think like I'm tearing things apart unnecessarily, but I do think it's a decent map. I do think it looks like it will be fun, to some extent, but I do have some problems with it. Now, probably one of the biggest problems I have with Zombies in Spaceland, this whole Spaceland thing, is the theme. It's 1980s theme. Now, I just don't understand where this theme came from. Like, the game itself set maybe like 2500 or something. We got this futuristic space warfare everything. We're flying around with jetpacks. We're in space, fighting in space. Everything has to do with space, and then we're back in the 1980s. Like, how does that work? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And it just kind of feels like a gimmick, and it just feels like it's contrived. Like, they just put it in there just because they want to make it like something different, which I can see that, but like this is like stereotypical 80s. Like everything is just stereotypical, like even down to the characters. Like they put in a stereotypical jock, they put in a stereotypical cheerleader, a stereotypical nerd, and a stereotypical rapper. And like here's the thing, these characters, like we don't know very much about the characters, but I'm assuming they don't have very much depth to them because they're stereotypes. They're flat out stereotypes, and it really doesn't take that much effort to create a stereotype character. And now it's back to the 80s theme. Like the reason, like it's not like I'm saying, oh, a Zombies map can't be set in the 80s. It absolutely can. Zombies can be set in the 80s. Zombies have had great success setting Zombies map in the past. The problem I have is that everything's so blatantly 80s, and like even in the trailer, they were showing zombies like dancing to disco, and I thought disco died out in the 70s, but maybe I'm wrong. Like, I don't get it. Like, okay, we had zombies maps set in the World War II era and everything, but in the 1960s, and those worked out fine. But we have an 80s map with like futuristic weaponry and everything. It's like it doesn't make sense. And my next criticism is going to be about the characters again. Why are all the characters teenagers? Like, they look like teenagers. Like, the nerd guy, he looks like he's only like 15 or something. Like, we've never had teenage playable characters. Like, sure, you might point out, like, maybe Samantha in Zombies or something was a kid character. Okay. But we've never had, like, minors as characters in Call of Duty. Like, even in the campaigns, even include campaigns. Because we've always played as grown-ass men, for the most part. I mean, sure, you do have some female characters, but they've always been adults. Why are we playing as kids? That doesn't make any sense. Like, kids running around in a space park, an amusement park, it just doesn't make sense. And the whole premise for the space park thing, like the whole zombie battle, is before a movie. Really? A movie? That premise has been overdone, and it's not very original. If you guys might remember, it was done in Mob of the Dead. George A. Romero took the four characters out to Siberia to film a movie, and that worked there because it sort of made sense. But here it's just, oh, we're gonna make an 80s zombies fighting film. We're gonna bunch of random kids and just run around an amusement park with futuristic weaponry. Yay! It's gonna be an awesome movie. Not like I don't really like. How many zombies movies do you see like where like kids are like kids are just fighting zombies? Like, yeah, sure, there are some like younger characters in shows like The Walking Dead or things like that, but like only kids, like kids only fighting things. Like this reminds me of that old television show Scooby Doo. Like a lot of people have questioned that show, like wondering, like, okay, how can a bunch of teenagers solve a murder mystery, or not a murder mystery? It's a kids show, like a mystery, when a bunch of grown adults around them can't, are like clueless and have no idea what's going on. Like, how can kids outsmart like a bunch of adults and stuff like that? That was a question in that show. But the question I have for this video game is, okay, like how can a bunch of kids like effectively fight out zombies? Like if they're supposed to be like 15, maybe 15 to 18. That's what they kind of look like. So they're between the ages like 15 and 18, and you're telling me that they can fight off hordes of zombies? Like, really? What kind of kid can do that? Like, it just doesn't really make any sense. And yeah, sure, it's a movie, but like, they just use that excuse so they can say anything they want. Like, you can just anything can happen. They don't really have to make a story, and I don't think that this is gonna have a story because apparently every single map's gonna have different characters, and they're gonna be in their own little universe. So after this map, we're gonna see the next map that comes out from Infinity War. We're just gonna see an entirely new setting, entirely new characters. Like, okay, are your characters really that dispensable, expendable? Infinity War, that like, okay, we're only gonna care about them for like one map, and then we're just gonna completely forget who they are. Like, that's one of the things that made zombies good, and great from Treyarch, is that we had characters. They actually had personalities. We actually got to know the characters, like, the original characters. Why people like those characters, because we know who those characters are. Like, we've grown attached to them over the years, and it was pretty effective, because if you guys remember when zombies first started out, there were no characters. You're just playing as random Marines, and like in not Durantone and Varuk, you just played as random Marines. But then they brought in Richtofen and Dempsey and Nikolai and Takio, and we all know who they are, and that's what they made zombies what it is today. Without those characters, zombies wouldn't nearly be as fun, or like, yeah, they wouldn't be as fun to play. Really, they had a really integral part of they're an integral part of the experience. Yet I think Infinity Ward taking the wrong approach to their characters, making them these forgettable, expendable characters that we forget after one DLC cycle, which is sad. Now, to the map itself, it does look like it looks nice. Okay, I'm gonna say it looks nice because it looks like the right amount of color and everything, and it looks actually fun to explore and play around in. But other than that, it just looks too stereotypical, like it's a stereotypical '80s thing, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you can obviously tell it was geared towards the kids. Like, they try to make it some kid-friendly theme park thing, but like, Call of Duty is supposed to be an M-rated game. Like, why are we playing? Like, why are we fighting soldiers, and why are we fighting zombies on at theme parks, water parks, cruise ships? Like, why are we fighting zombies? Why are we fighting opponents and enemies at these places when it used to be battlefields, like actual battlefields, where the storyline actually made sense? Like in World of War, it made sense. Like, okay, we fought on some abandoned bunker. Okay, so yeah, it made sense there. You had to hold off hordes of zombies in this abandoned bunker. Okay, it made sense. In Der Riese, you fought in a Nazi factory, in a Nazi research facility. That actually made sense because if you guys didn't know, in the war, the Nazis actually were actually trying to develop futuristic weaponry to win the war. They actually were under a project called Der Riese. However, like, and they've designed stuff that look like the teleporters, like the Die Glocke and things. Which means the bell in German. It looks like this bell-shaped thing, and people think it might be a teleporter, but of course we don't know because the SS killed all the scientists towards the end of the war because Hitler didn't want if that new technology falling into American and Russian hands after the war ended, because most of the scientists would be divided between those two countries, between the U.S. and Russia. So that actually made sense. That had a basis in reality, but like we're just randomly we just have randomly have this '80s themed map coming out, which it just stereotypical. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It just, like, okay, when in Shadow of Evil came out, like, yeah, sure, it was set in the '40s, but like, and you can kind of tell it was set in the you can tell it was set in the '40s, of course, but like, they didn't have like dancing zombies, you know, on disco, like dancing disco on the dance floor. Like that's where I think they take it too far when they try to add all these dumb things. Because yeah, sure, they do have fun maps sometimes in COD, but there's a fine line between fun and stupid. Like Nuketown was a fun map, okay, and that actually had basis in reality. Nuketown, like basically was paralleled real life nuclear testing sites, like in the movie Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You guys remember that scene where he hides in a refrigerator to avoid the nuclear blast? That's basically what it was. That's basically where it came from. The inspiration came from. So it had basis in reality, yet it was a fun map. It was a small map, and everybody liked it. It was colorful, and people liked it. But now we're just moving on a theme park, fighting at theme parks, fighting water parks. It's just getting ridiculous, and I'm just getting tired of it. Like, so I think it'll be a decent map. I think it'll be fun, at least for the first few tries, the first few times you play it. But at the end of the day, you have to realize it's a gimmick to try to get you to buy the game. So people who are on the fence about buying the game, they see this, oh wow, it's a theme park, and you got to ride a roller coaster and shoot zombies at the same time. Wow, I'm definitely gonna buy this game over Battlefield 1. Like people are gonna see that, and some people might be undecided on whether or not they're gonna buy Infinite Warfare, and it might help these guys be pushed over the edge and actually buy the game. So I think that's why they're throwing in all this gimmicky stuff. But at the end of the day, do I think it's worth getting Infinite Warfare just for zombies? And I'm gonna say absolutely not. I don't think zombies are gonna live up to the standards Treyarch set or anything like that. I just don't see it happening. I don't see any story here. I don't know why it's set in the 80s at all. Like, and this is, keep in mind, guys, this could change. Like, we could find out more information about zombies, and I might have a completely different opinion. But for right now, based on what I've seen from the trailer, it just, it just doesn't look like what the standard of zombies that Treyarch has brought us to expect. You know, this map. I like Gorod Krovi. Look at this spot. This is a wonderful spot. They all pile up right here. And like I like Treyarch zombies. But I'm just not sure about Infinite Warfare, and like given Infinity War's track record of, of little co-op game modes like survival and extinction, yeah, I wouldn't trust them because they haven't brought us like a memorable game mode like extinction. Yeah, it was unique, but it's like okay, we're fighting aliens now instead of zombies. Woohoo! Like it just wasn't as fun as zombies, and it just wasn't as memorable. Not that many people liked it. Some people did, but not nearly as many like zombies. So I mean, given their track record, given what we've seen in the trailer so far, I don't recommend you guys buy it on day one just for zombies. I mean, we know that the campaign's going to be garbage because they can't make a decent story anymore. We already know that. Like the story's going to suck. It's going to be completely unrealistic and rip off a ton of movies. So the campaign, like a third of the game, is just gone right there. And then what else we got? Multiplayer. Okay, thrust jumping returned. Supply drops definitely gonna return. Space warfare. But yeah, everybody wants space warfare. Infinity War. We've all been crying for World War II and in the past or in modern day, and like you give us 2,500. I mean, seriously. So multiplayer is gonna fail. And rightfully so, because they're not giving us what we want. And then zombies, like, I don't think you guys should spend $60 for one game mode. But if you guys really must have zombies, wait until December, because usually GameStop comes out with a sale where the games marked down to $39.99, only a month after launch. And it's been like that for Ghost, Advanced Warfare, and Black Ops 3. You can get the game cheaper a month after launch just because sales are so poor and they want to move their inventory. So GameStop cuts players a deal, and that's how they cut their losses a little bit. So I just recommend you do that if you absolutely must have zombies. But in the meantime, there's plenty of other games out there to hold you over until December. Like Battlefield 1's gonna come out in 2 months, and I'm sure I'm gonna be on that thing a lot, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are too, because that game looks awesome. And there's plenty of other games coming out too. I can't really think of too many on the top of my head, but you guys get my point. So guys, don't buy Infinite Warfare day one just for zombies. Like, I just don't buy it on day one. Just wait a little bit at the very least. Wait until December. Wait until the price drops. Don't give them more of your money when you don't have to. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, it's been World of War. See you guys later.